from Green Bay who have said like, "Yo, we should have won a lot of games. We should at least been in 2 Super Bowls. We was only in one." So yeah, they won
Brady ain't
a
coming back.
Super Bowl, so he does get that like cachet. But look who he had. He had Aaron Rodgers, and he only won one. Before Aaron Rodgers left Green Bay, I was on record saying Patrick Mahomes is better than Aaron Rodgers in that same time span with one Super Bowl and one MVP. And people call me crazy. Now, bro got three. So,
Are you
are
crazy?
we going? I mean, that's subjective. um, are we still about to say that Mike McCarthy is a good coach because he let a rookie quarterback essentially come out there and set the field on fire? I can't put that all on Dak Prescott. That's going to change a whole psychological attack and game plan in that game. Like Dallas was never in that game, and I'm not about to put that all on Dak Prescott. Did he play good? No, but I ain't about to say like he mid. What made me hop into the chat, because I'm never going to defend Cowboys ever. I kind of hate Dallas. What made me hop into the chat is Derek Carr. I ain't the biggest fan of homie, but when you look at him compared to anybody else, he's the only player in NFL history to have a different offensive coordinator every year of his professional career. How do you expect him to grow in a system, create a culture when everybody is coming in with different recipes? Me and you can make macaroni and cheese that could be good to everybody in this chat right now, but me and you in that kitchen are going to have different processes and elements to make that same macaroni and cheese. So who's to say one's right or wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never had the opportunity to even grow a culture. I think that John Gruden situation really messed him up, and he's just been like the punching bag of the league, the $40 million contract, etc., etc. But that's not his fault. That's the market. Blame Kyler Murray. I tell everybody that. Blame Kyler Murray.
Look. My thing is, when you take the check, you take the criticism. Cuz been in the league for a decade.
No, you said when you take the check, you take the criticism. So if you worked in corporate, so if everybody else at your job has got said raise and it's now your turn to get said raise, are you not going to take the check? Like regardless, like if that's the standard. So I ain't even saying that him or Kyler Murray deserve that $40 million. But if that's what the NFL says that tier quarterback should be paid, who am I to say they're wrong? I'm going to blame the coaches, the GMs, and the rest of the teams for what y'all putting around said quarterback. Has Derek Carr had some dogs? Yeah, he's got some dogs. But he also has never had the opportunity with a real coach and a real system to grow.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to send Derek Carr to Indianapolis, and y'all going to pay him $40 million.
Fuck no.
Okay, then what we talking about? You don't want him.
I don't like him that much. I don't like him that much to pay him $40 million. I'll pay Baker Mayfield $40 million. I'll pay Jared Goff $40 million.
Hey, bro,
I'm not about to pay no.
This is what I'm saying. You said all this to say I don't want him. That makes my point. You don't think he worth the $40 million, so I'm saying you don't want him.
You put him on Tennessee. Is he better than Tannehill?
No, I don't want him for $40 million.
No. That's not what I'm saying. If you put him on Tennessee, is he better than Tannehill?
He ain't $10 million better than Tannehill.
Forget what the numbers say. Is the product on the field better?
You know me, when it comes to the debate, it's gonna be the number got to match the player. He ain't $10 million better than Tannehill.
I mean, that just goes back to what we talking about on the salary cap tip, because a lot of players are overpaid. Von Miller, he's steal money. He had like 4 tackles all year. You feel me? People are stealing money out here. Christian Kirk,
they got him 20 in the Bills. I don't know what they was.
Christian Kirk and Jacksonville out there stealing money. He had a couple good games, but boys are stealing money out here because of what these contracts and what these agents is able to negotiate. So I ain't gonna never be mad at the players. Be mad at the GMs and the coaches for putting piss poor systems in play around these stud athletes, and they can't grow. I wouldn't be mad at Katie Williams for not wanting to go to Chicago. It's the reason why Justin Fields out of Chicago. But it is what it is. The game is the game.
Bro, I'm saying these quarterbacks are not gonna get it done for you in the playoffs. So why pay them? That's all I'm saying. I know that what the
I believe
I believe
that Prescott can get it done though.
I don't.
I really based on what? Like you got to look at
I
like we're looking at the biggest piece of all this. Like if you're saying Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes go out there and change their plays, what if that's not what Dak does? What if that's not what Lamar
so
does?
let me be fair. Let me be fair. Down 24-7. Lions versus Niners. If you put Dak on the Niners, does Dak walk them back?
Yes, that defense was stellar. That defense made most of those plays to come back. I didn't say Brock Purdy didn't make plays, but Dak, with that receiving core and that running game, yes, he's going to do the exact same thing.
Put Dak on the Niners versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Does he turn it over?
Of course.
Okay.
But that defense is an opportunistic defense.
Okay.
They made Tua turn the ball over. They made Josh Allen turn the ball over. They made Lamar Jackson turn the ball over.
Okay.
They made Jalen Hurts turn the ball over twice in the Super Bowl.
We're not going to stay there too long, though. Okay. Put Dak on the Chiefs. Are the Chiefs the back-to-back Super Bowl champions?
They get one, not back-to-back.
They don't get one. All right. Let's go to Baltimore. Are they the number one team in the AFC this year? MVP? If Dak is on that Ravens team, the one we seen this year.
With that defense, I think that can be. He was an MVP right now, so yeah, I'm gonna say he's gonna be just as good. Like
so
we can't
Dak
take
Prescott
away.
Would have done what Lamar did this year with the Ravens.
If I'm mistaken, Dak Prescott was an MVP candidate this year. So if you give him that same team defense and play calling, yes, he would have did the same thing.
Okay, Dak Prescott on the Bills.
That's a little bit different. That team is more flawed than everybody you just named. He would have balled. He would have had numbers. He probably wouldn't have did what Josh Allen did. That's special. That's a little bit different and subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
but
year two, Bengals went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Rams. Put Dak Prescott on that Bengals team. Did they go to the Super Bowl to play the Rams?
Nah, I think they would have lost to Patty in that AFC title game.
All right, take Dak Prescott, put him on the Eagles last year in place of Jalen Hurts. Did they go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they go to the Super Bowl.
All right, so if I gave you 10 different teams and you said only probably like one or two of them, potentially you feel like, I feel like he wouldn't have went with none of them. But I'm saying potentially you feel like 2 out of 10 is not a good percentage to say that Dak Prescott can get you there.
But we talking a lot of hyperbole. We talking injuries. We talking luck. We talking a lot of different play calls. I ain't gonna say the Chiefs went out there and set the field on fire in the Super Bowl. That punt, muffled fumble, whatever that was, that probably was the biggest play in the game. And
I
it's
agree
like
with that. I agree.
you can't
that was the biggest play.
You can't coach that.
It was crazy.
You can't prepare for that. It's just something that happened in the game, and you got to roll with the punches.
Like on the 9, like the return team. That's not
right.
Even,
it hit the back of his foot as he was blocking. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? That it's a lot of hyperbole in there to say what would or wouldn't happen, but I'm still saying he would be an MVP caliber player on some of these teams because he has that skill set.
This is what I'm getting at, though. All right, let's take some of our great quarterbacks that we know have won Super Bowls. Let's take your Peyton Manning. Let's take Joe Montana. Let's take Drew Brees. Let's take, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's take some of the dogs, right? All those situations I just named, without even blinking, we both feel like if I name one of those guys on these teams, I just said, you like, yeah, it's probably. Imagine Peyton Manning on that Niners team this past year.
Imagine Dak Prescott on the Nick Foles team that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Like, what we talking about? And that was Carson Wentz's.
They wouldn't have done it.
But I'm saying
they wouldn't have done it.
But I'm saying, but who's to say? Who's to say they would have done it?
You got to hear my question. You got to answer my question. Because I'm asking you a question.
For sure.
Take your boy Peyton Manning, who I think the world of Peyton Manning. Any of them teams I just named, without even blinking, you like, yeah, Peyton Manning goes to the Super Bowl, probably wins it with all those teams, right? Imagine Peyton Manning on this past Niners team the last 2 years. Hell, even the 2019 that lost to the Chiefs the first time. Put Peyton Manning on that team. Put Drew Brees on that team. Put Montana on that team. Put any of them on the team. You like, yeah, they probably blowing out everybody they face. But we talking about putting Dak Prescott there, and you like, shit. I don't know if they win the division. That's the type of shit you get to thinking about. Like, this Cowboy team, whether people want to admit or not, is built around him and is talented. When big games happen in the playoffs the last 3 to 4 years, every time they lose, he turns the ball over. He never plays a clean game. If Brock Purdy don't play a clean game, the Chiefs probably run away in the Super Bowl. If Brock Purdy don't play a clean game against the Lions, they don't come back. Even these other QBs that's out here, you got to play a clean game at some point. We just sit there and watch Mahomes go all the way to the Super Bowl before he threw a pick. Dak Prescott is incapable of going through a postseason without turning the ball over. He just ain't. He's Tannehill. They can't do it.
I feel like this. First off, I was there in that Tannehill game. Mike Vrabel, he blew the game. I was there. They had the Chiefs beat. I feel like if we're gonna give so much credit for these, like the Belichick, Brady, the Mahomes, Reed, we gotta give that same grace to Dak Prescott. Mike McCarthy won with a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant-esque player in Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed.
So it's like, I ain't saying Dak Prescott is that good, but I don't think Mike McCarthy is that good of a coach. Give me Mike Tomlin. Give me Jim Harbaugh.
I agree.
Give me
that's why he ain't getting
a lot of people. What was I about to say? It's a lot of people who want to hop on the Dan Campbell wagon. All right, we can go with Dan Campbell too. Mike McCarthy really ain't one of them, so it's like, yeah,
two times pass the blunt. You think Dak would have won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees' Saints team?
Pass the blunt. That's tough.
Pass the blunt, cuz. Pass it 2 times. I know you on the 8th right now. You on the good grass. No. If you trying to put Drew Brees and Dak Prescott in the same sentence, we having a real hard time right now. Drew Brees was out. Drew Brees could throw with Manning and Brady.
Would Dak Prescott made that Carolina team a Super Bowl champion against them Broncos?
Hell no. On either side. Like, Peyton Manning was way past his good years of playing football when he went with the Broncos. He just knew how to manage the game. Where when he played against Cam Newton, the shit that Cam Newton did that season, if people go back and watch the tape on Cam Newton that season, they would really be amazed at the shit that he did. They really would be. It's just like the athletic plays he made that season. Listen, he said, why you figure not? Because Drew Brees is capable of going through a playoff and playing a clean game. They really should have won again that year that they got hosed by the Rams. But if you just think about it, it's the difference between a quarterback that knows the game plan, understands the game plan, and can play a clean game in the playoffs. Dak Prescott just can't do it. I've never seen him do it. I've never seen Tannehill do it.
But that goes back to the coaches. Like, I feel like it just in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs came out with one game plan and they said, "Oh no, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work." Like, they start running that read option. They start running that Andy Reid, Jeff Garcia era when he was on Philly. We're gonna move the quarterback. We're gonna move the throwing point. We're gonna keep everybody moving. You know what I'm saying? Because we'd be lying if we saying the 49ers have one of the best defenses ever, right? Like,
they do.
Even with mid-ass Chase Young taking plays off all year. They said they was about to cut him.
I think we'll wind up like the back end of their secondary too. Like, just imagine if they had Hufanga healthy. Whew. You know what I'm saying? That's like a Pro Bowl safety that just
but
not
we
even
can't
on the field.
We can't use evidence that's not there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But last year that's the same exact team added with Chase Young and Hargrave, pretty much. Defense, that defense it was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. But
I don't feel like Mike McCarthy has the wherewithal to make an adjustment. He's like Doc Rivers. He's good, but he's not good enough. Like, he's not gonna make that flip. He's not gonna get in this player. Tyronn Lue is a better example of somebody who comes out with a game plan and be like, nah, this ain't working. Let me flip it up. Even if this is my best player, I need to give it to my C player so the best player can start cooking, so he can not be so anxious. I can't name a time where Mike McCarthy has ever put Dak Prescott in a situation to where he's not anxious, to where he's not pressing. Like, I'm not about to say Dak has always played the best games or the clean games, because he hasn't. I can't defend that. But that just goes back to the coaching. Do you believe in him as a coach? Because I don't. So once we get right at that point, it's like, all right, we got a good enough. It's like having a Ferrari. We got a Ferrari right here, but it don't matter. There's a Ferrari. Who driving it? Who managing it? Who getting the oil change? Who rotating the tires? Who getting the car wash?
Care of it? Yeah,
Who taking care of
I can agree with that take, but my thing is like, I don't blame Mike Vrabel for Ryan Tannehill playing bad in the playoffs. I blame Ryan Tannehill because you had 2 weeks. You had time to look at the tape. And it's no way when the game starts, you motion shift left. Derrick Henry ain't played since the game against y'all on Halloween week. Play action left, turn around right, quick turn. And let's just be honest. If you's a quarterback and you come off a blind play action, and you had tape to look at the Bengals, I know I need to figure out where Jesse Bates is when I turn around. And if Jesse Bates has to stop running, gather himself, and slow down so he doesn't overrun the pick, then you just know you stare down. That ain't coaching. That's in between the shoulders to say any other quarterback would have pump fake, ran. Okay, they got me contained. It's first down in a home game with a number 1 seed in the AFC. I can throw the ball away. Like that's what you get from somebody that's getting paid $30 to $40 million, right? That simple thought that I had 2 weeks to think about. All I got to do is find Jesse Bates. It ain't but 3 people playing pass defense. It's 2 cornerbacks and Jesse Bates. The other 8 people is chasing Derrick Henry out the. Look, it's people that was trying to tackle Derrick Henry without the ball on the sideline on that play. All you got to do is locate Jesse Bates, and you can't do that. When Mike Hilton picked him off on that bubble screen, if you go back and look at the YouTube, Hilton was on the sideline saying, man, Tannehill got a lazy take when he do play action. He said, next time he throw it, I'm going to get it. Now, when a slot cornerback can tell the camera on the sideline, next time he throw the bubble screen, I'm going to pick it, and he picks it, that's bad quarterback. That ain't on the head coach. It's saying you're lazy with your mechanics. We just had a 40-yard run to play before, and you can't sell play action because you have lazy mechanics. Now, watch Tannehill on Twitter on Titans practices, and he's got his footwork is lazier than Malik Willis. He of the 3 quarterbacks in preseason, when you watch them practice, he had the worst footwork. So if you practice bad, you play bad. Then the last interception was, if you're gonna throw double coverage, it's got to be AJ Brown. You had 2 wide open receivers. You couldn't see the field. You stared down a target and you threw a pick. That ain't coaching. People were open. He just didn't make the right reads. And that's why I say, like, certain quarterbacks, I just don't think they have. Because even they asked Kirk Cousins on that last play last year when they lost to the Giants, why did you check it down if you knew it was 4th down and 8? And you got Jay Jettison, Hawkinson, you got all these people. He's like, I just got caught in the moment. The same thing that Josh Dobbs said. Why did you throw a 2-yard pass? You know, you had to throw it past the sticks. And, you know, Taylor Lewan, as he said, I ain't gonna lie to you, I just dumbed out for a minute.
Let me teach you how to
I can't give you 30, 40 million if you're gonna dumb out when it counts. You see what I'm saying? Like, that ain't on the head coach. That's on the quarterback who's watched tape and film to know, if Jesse Bates pulls up on this route, I got to throw it deep or throw it out of bounds. That's just me. Because I watch it over and over, and I'm saying, what is he reading? What is his key? What clearly is find Jesse Bates when you come off the play action. You just threw the ball. So in Dak Prescott, I seen the same thing when he threw the pick the Savages. It ain't there, bro. Throw it away. Use your God-given talents and take off running, pick up 5 and punt. I guarantee it's better being down 14 and 21. This might be the play where they muff a punt, or where they throw a pick or fumble the ball. You got to get the momentum back, and you can't do it by taking negative plays and hurting yourself. You said you'll put the blood down? Them bounty hunters, man, don't bring up the bounty hunters. Nobody thought that Eli would beat Brady that year, I believe, on the fluke. Saints would have got. Don't compare Dak Prescott to Eli Manning either. Eli Manning is the gunslinger, bro. People underestimate Eli. Eli is one of the best quarterbacks all time against the blitz. If you blitz Eli will carve you.